to the poor guy. All right, we got to talk small business and keep going with this entrepreneurial theme we have here today. Paul Bocheck and Michael Satz, did I say that right?
Correct.
Founders of BarterQuest are here in studio with us right now. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you.
I find this whole thing very interesting. First, tell us what BarterQuest is, because it's eBay style, right?
Well, it's a cashless eBay.
Cashless.
Cashless.
Okay, go ahead.
Essentially, it's a trading platform for the barter of all types of goods, services, or real estate, permanent exchange or temporary use. So almost anything can be traded on the site. It's targeting consumers, although it also serves small businesses and organizations.
So I could put my lawnmower, if I had one, up on BarterQuest.
Exactly. You can put anything what you have, and in matter of fact, you can put also your services or your real estate. You can put your timeshare for trade, and ask what do you want. You might want to have somebody who paints your house. You might want to have somebody who look after your children. So it's very functional and very broad things you can actually trade.
Do I have to come up with a comparable item? So let's say I have a lawnmower and I'm going to say I'm going to put this up for barter. In exchange, I'd like my house painted.
You could do either. If you just put down what you have, basically you could then search and browse the site, see what other people may have available, and make offers. You can make as many offers as you would like. However, if you have a notion of what you may want for your lawnmower and put both down, and then the site will match you instantly and automatically with your reciprocal haves and wants of other traders, both as two-party trades and as multi-party trades. And then it's up to you to obviously complete the trade.
How did you come up with this notion?
Well, it was very simple. One day we were just sitting with my partners in a coffee table in one of the coffee shops in New York, and just talking. And back in my country, in Czech Republic, there was a business bartering going all the time. By the way, there was a movie which basically people were trading their apartments, and 12-way. There was actually comedy. So we thought about, well, there must be something which similar to on the internet itself to allow people to trade. And so we went on the internet, do some market research, find out that there is really nothing which I can do. So we just decided to start the BarterQuest.
And you found that people, is it because that I don't have the money to buy anything these days? I'm sort of broke, but I do have a lot of stuff in my house I don't need, that it's taken off so much?
I think that's part of it. I think certainly conserving cash, saving money, big drivers. We were lucky, in our case, being in this type of economy. But it's also being green, for example. If you're trading goods, you're recycling them. That's a very good thing to do. It's being able to value excess inventory, whether it's your services or goods that you have in the back of the store. And it's fun. You could game it. People like to negotiate. They like the art of the deal. So that also enters into
the whole eBay style. Someone asked a question, which is a good one. Is there tax on the trade?
There is tax on the trade. The IRS considers trading to be a buy and sell transaction. God bless their little hearts. And essentially, they will value your liability based on the market value of what you receive. We, BarterQuest, have a reporting function. So essentially, at least in theory, we have to issue 1099s on underlying trades.
Why do you say in theory?
Because this has become an object of debate for the eBays of the world as well, where they also have the same reporting function. And the notion is that we have a limited knowledge of what actually is ultimately exchanged. For example, we don't know what you've actually received when it's shipped.
You don't know what the final price is?
We know what the final price is, but we don't know whether you got it or how you received it necessarily.
So how do you issue a 1099 if, say, I got
well,
stiffed?
In theory, we'd issue it on the assumed value you give to your item, which is something you do when you come on the site. You put down a market value, and that's both to give other traders a notion of what you might be looking for in value, but it's also being able to allow people to use our point system, which is an on-site currency, which allows you to equalize trading. There are basically four problems with trading. One is to find what's called a double coincidence of wants, which simply means I have to find somebody who wants what I have, and I have to have something you want.
Okay.
The second is equalizing value. The items have to have reasonably equal value for there to be a fair trade. The third is trading can be complicated to complete. If I'm just sending you emails or text messages, it could take forever. And finally, trust. How do I know I'm going to get what I bargained for?
Sure.
What our site is all about is to make trading easy by solving these 4 problems. Finding the double coincidence of wants is our matching engine, which I just discussed. You also can trade almost anything, so it opens up the possibilities. Equalizing value has to do with our point system. It also means that you could trade multi-items in the same trade. Trust has to do with account verification and our ratings system, which is much like eBay. And finally, how you get a trade completed has to do with our patent-pending trading engine, which essentially means instead of just sending emails, you can make offers, you can accept offers or counter offer, and then you confirm a trade.
Directly to me? I just pulled the site up now. So it comes directly to me, or is it via the site?
What comes directly to you?
These emails that you're saying?
Well, there's an on-site messaging service.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Okay, so now, what are the most popular items you're seeing being bartered these days?
Well, there's a lot of items you can see. There's a lot of in the transportation, for example. We have even aircraft there on the site. We have a lot of things in services. There's a lot of web design, web development items there.
So it's like a Craigslist.
Well, in a sense, it's not just the listings. What we actually really provide is the very easy way to navigate. There is a little search function, very good in terms of attributes you can search for. There is a matching function, which Michael just mentioned. This is our patent-pending technology, which basically allows you to find what you have or what you want, and it can find it in multi-party trades also, right? It basically increases the probability of finding your trading partner. And also it has a built-in messaging system and a trading system itself, because it keeps track of where you are in a trade. When you send the offer, somebody accepts it, and then you have some kind of period of time to actually confirm it, right? So it has all this functionality built in for you to just keep track of what's happening.
But then you know where the trade is in the process.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You being
we know,
the site.
yes.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
we know too.
So now, okay, you developed this site, because there's stuff out there. There's eBay, there's Craigslist, there's all this stuff out there. So, 1, why do it? And 2, what makes it different then?
Well, what makes it different, again, is we are the only site that provides a full solution to those problems of trading I mentioned.
Right.
Which is important, because particularly as the
And
site
is that
scales...
statistical analysis? I mean, is that like a statistical matching thing?
Well, you want to talk about the matching engine from a technological perspective?
Well, I can a little bit touch on.
Because you're taking me
that.
back to grad school, and I'm getting a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's based on a graph theory. So essentially, you're looking for the shortest
That's pretty
way.
cool, actually.
Yeah.
And so there's a mechanism in here that can figure out, that can match my wants and needs.
By order of relevance.
By order of relevance. So then there's that. That certainly makes it different.
There is the value equalization feature of the points. Also, interestingly, on most other sites, you can't have multi-item trades. You can trade one item at a time. So you can't just keep adding items until you've equalized your trading function. Interestingly enough, as far as we know, we're the only site that offers account verification. So at least you could add an identity to your trading partner. I know who you are.
Yeah, I see pictures and things like that.
Exactly. And finally, again, the trading engine, meaning that there's a systematic way of actually negotiating and completing your trade.
How often is it updated?
The items?
Yeah, so if I put an item on, do I have to go in and update it? Like, is it one of those things that the items at the top get the most play?
It will over time. Right now, that function is within the system, but it is not being exploited regularly. But normally, the way it would work is every 90 days or so, you'd have to upgrade your item.
And get yourself back to the top.
So they're real items.
But what you can do is also you can use the update function there. So if you want to have your results coming on the top, you just regularly log in and update your items.
Yeah.
That will basically come up as available.
Now,
right?
how are you making money on this?
It's going to be a user fee function. Right now, the site is free because we're encouraging utilization. We want to get to a critical mass. Then there'll be a number of micro fees. You'll be charged a fee when you've completed a trade for goods based on a percentage of the value of the items traded. Or if you list real estate or services, you'll be charged a listing fee.
So then it's like a consignment fee, so to speak.
Exactly.
Like a consignment store.
Yeah, basically.
So then how did you finance it if you're not charging anything?
Well, we heard your prior guest talk about friends and family, credit cards, begging, borrowing. That's how we did it.
It's the old school way.
Old school way.
Yeah.
So you sat around a coffee table one day, you said, we have to do this,
Exactly.
and you maxed out your credit cards and you did
To
it.
have to do this is important. I
Yeah.
mean, we had to come to the conclusion that this was a big idea, that there was no reason that it could not be done, and that we were going to commit ourselves to do it.
So let me ask you quickly, what do you see that is going on in this economy right now? Aside from the fact that you're benefiting from the fact that people don't have the cash to spend, they instead are bartering. What do you see? What do you hear from people out there?
Well, we're hearing people look for new ways to do things, new ways to utilize what they have, new ways to acquire things. And this fits neatly into that general trend, which is, okay, I can buy things, I can sell things, I can auction things, but are there other ways of doing this that might be more communal, might be more social, might give me greater value for the things I have in my attic, have in my closet, have in my basement? And we actually believe that over time, trading, we hope BarterQuest will be a leading site in this context, but trading will be an important element of e-commerce as the scalability of the internet is realized. For the first time in human history, you can create a virtual marketplace with millions of people with millions of items to
You
trade.
most certainly can. And now, quickly, one last question. If you could ask the president to do something today to help push your business forward, what would it be, Paul?
Well, I think that really it really depends on the people to really realize their dreams. You really have to go after what you want to do. It's not really getting some kind of directions from the top.
So
it's
you
really,
don't care. It doesn't. The economic policies don't affect you guys. You're just doing what you got to do and figuring it out.
It might help. It might help, but I think that from the beginning, really, as a startup company, I didn't really see too much help coming up, from anybody.
Right,
in our
right.
path, yeah.
I don't think it's going to make the difference. As Paul said, I think it could help, but ultimately it's going to be your idea, your implementation that's going to drive success or failure.
Yeah, Larry Chang said it earlier. We've become a nation that feels we deserve things, entitlements, and you guys are inspiring because you're doing it without it.
Well,
Maxing
thank
out
you
the
very
credit
much.
cards and doing something. It's BarterQuest.com. Check it out. There's got to be stuff in your house that you can barter. I'm thinking like everything down to one of my 3 kids can go on. I'm thinking. There's 3. There's a lot of them. I got to feed them. Barter them all out. Paul Bocheck, Michael Satz, founders of BarterQuest, here with us today. Now, there's a third founder, right?
Bianca Hahn.
Bianca Hahn.
Okay. She couldn't be with us today. Thank you much.